Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Nives, and here I love to talk about motherhood, our homeschooling journey in the world of Charlotte Mason and classical education, and the amazing things that happen when you go from atheist to listening to and living out God's word. The days are getting warmer and longer and sunnier. The leaves are growing and becoming greener every single day. The dandelions have taken over the fields. Butterflies are fluttering about and robins are back, and there's generally such freshness and beauty in these early May days. And so today I wanted to speak of the beautiful transformative journey motherhood is, and how living a virtuous motherhood is very much within our reach. If you enjoy this type of content, I'd like to invite you to please subscribe. One sunny day, as spring was turning to summer, after 4 long days of labor, I gave birth to the most magnificent thing my eyes had ever seen, my first baby girl. I held her tiny, helpless body against mine, which at that point was a pale shade of purple, almost lilac, and I fell in love immediately. I couldn't have dreamed her up. That's how perfect she was. That day, I was born too. I was born as a mother, and as a self I never knew existed within me. She came into my life and changed it forever. I remember the months leading up to my first child's birth, wondering whether I was equipped to be a good mother to my daughter. Was I selfless enough to devote myself to another human being, to let go of my own hedonistic ways, to find joy in trading dining out with my husband for changing diapers in the dark? Yet in that instant, everything changed. My desires out of this life changed. 3 days after I gave birth to my first daughter, I wrote a journal entry in which I said, "Everything I cared about before appears so meaningless compared to everything I have now." And that right there sums up what becoming a mother does to you. Surprisingly, becoming a mother was a life change so natural to me that this feeling of sacrifice I was anticipating before I gave birth to my child was not at all what I had thought it would be. The minute she came into this world, I knew I'd want to spend the rest of my days caring for her and loving her. Is there a transformation as sudden as that of a woman who becomes a mother? There's the first sound you'll hear from her first cry as she emerges from the safety of your uterus into the coldness and brightness of the world. You'll envelop her with your arms, the warmth of your skin, and all the love you have which will comfort her. There's the first time you'll breastfeed her eyes shut tight as her little mouth goes in search for the milk, helpless but somehow knowing where to find food. You'll spend hours wondering if she's been fed enough, did she eat enough, and you'll keep track of her dirty diapers like a hawk to make sure she is peeing and pooping as she should be. There's the first smile you'll see forming, that wide, gummy smile of happiness. "Oh, she's just passing gas," they'll say, but you'll know deep down that smile is more than an automatic reflex. It's a smile of satisfaction, of content, of comfort, of peace, of knowing she's safe and loved. There's the first little outfit you'll ever dress her in, one that you have picked for her long before you ever laid your eyes on her. And you'll carefully thread her arms and legs through the tiny holes so delicately out of fear to break her. And then when done dressing her, you'll stare at her as she sleeps through like a little doll, nearly too good to be true. You marvel at the sight of this new life that you're guarding so preciously that you feel like you've known forever and you would do anything to protect it. You kiss her plump cheeks over and over again and tell her you love her 1,000 times a day. And when she sleeps, you spend those precious minutes watching her little face. And when she wakes up and opens her little eyes and sees yours, her eyes glow so bright that your heart could burst. She's the most beautiful, curious, lovely creature you've ever laid your eyes on, and you love her so deeply. So this week at homeschool, we're learning about clouds and rain, and after finishing our morning time outside, we decided to start tidying up our garden, picking up dead leaves, preparing the soil for planting, getting rid of some of the old logs that the kids were using for play. We spread some flower seeds in hopes to see them grow over the course of the next few weeks. And here in Canada, it really feels like spring has truly sprung. The days are getting warmer and longer and sunnier. The leaves are growing and becoming greener every single day, and we love this time of year. And we went to a garden center and picked up some beautiful blooms, but unfortunately, the day we were going to plant them around our yard, it poured rain all day. So it will have to wait until later this week, but that's okay. The kids always look forward to that time in the spring when we can actually bring our suburban backyard alive with colors of spring. They love getting dirty in the soil and gardening together as a family, so that's going to be lots of fun. Out of all the things that you've done in this life, and you've done a lot, becoming a mother is certainly the best one. And at every turn, as your baby outgrows her newborn clothes, rolls over for the first time, or learns to crawl or walk, you yourself grow a bit too. You are not the same woman you were all those years ago. You are not the same mother you were those first months. The days of early motherhood go by so fast. As your child gets a little more independent each day, and needs you a little less each day, you learn to accept the cycle of life with the bittersweetness that comes. The impermanence of their baby days, of their childhood, is so clear, and though beautiful, comes with a certain heaviness. And soon enough, the gummy smile is replaced with a full set of baby teeth. And that first cry is a sound that faded out of your mind a long time ago, now replaced with words and thoughts and songs. Your body will become your own again, and soon enough her favorite food will go from breast milk to pasta. Those newborn clothes you'll pack away, keeping only the most precious ones. But every time you'll set your eyes on that Minnie Mouse onesie, you'll forever remember her as a newborn self sleeping on your chest. Becoming a mother feels akin to a butterfly emerging from its cocoon, the transformation of the old life to the new one. And what's more is how transformative it remains, forever changing, forever adapting, forever growing. As mothers, we are called to a higher purpose than that of our worldly desires and our own fulfillments. And when we answer that call, we see something truly beautiful emerging, the hardest yet the most fulfilling role in this life. God entrusted us mothers to disciple His children, to guide them to His goodness, to know His grace and His ways. Before I knew God, I often felt inadequate and discouraged in my own flaws. How impatient I had been, how unjust I had been, how much attention one child got compared to another, the tone of the voice I used to discipline my child, and so on and so forth. Now, I know I am flawed, and I know what those flaws are, but instead of feeling discouraged, I feel hopeful. I know I'm the mother of my children for a reason, and that I'm entrusted in loving them, guiding them, discipling them, and shepherding them. I know the higher virtues that are guiding me, and I always go back to them, no matter how many times I go astray. There are so many beautiful virtues to be practiced and sought after in a motherhood journey. Being a mother who's warm and tender with her children, a mother who's patient and exemplifies God's grace, a mother who's nurturing and loving, a mother who teaches how to take responsibility, accountability for one's action, and who makes things right, a mother who is forgiving, a mother who is generous, a mother who is humble and shows restraint, a mother who is thankful, a mother who is strong and courageous, a mother who is protective, a mother who is wise and discerning, a mother who finds joy in the tedious and the mundane, a mother who is righteous. Don't we have so much to aspire to? All these beautiful, strong, lovely character traits make virtuous motherhood within our reach. And when we spend time with God, we should pray for Him to help us through the ones we struggle with the most. Giving up on ourselves as good enough is not an option. We are God's creation. We are a work of art, but one with free will. Everything in us deserves to be better, to be practicing these virtues. And it's a lifelong practice. There is so much I'm constantly working on, and how many times do I relapse in my own ways? But through our faith, God is there at every turn to show us the way and make sure we don't stray too far, too long. Stay-at-home mothers, homeschooling mothers, working mothers, all mothers are the keepers of our home. This is a beautiful blessing and an important role. So much of the atmosphere in our home and in our life is in our hands. As the proverb goes, a wise woman builds her home and a foolish one destroys it with her hands. This is so often on my mind, and it guides me every time I get lost in feeling like a martyr or feeling annoyance or when I feel sorry for myself. As flawed beings, it's so easy to get lost in a negative spiral. But thinking of that proverb snaps me out of it, and it gives me perspective over what truly matters and what is important. What it is I should aspire to, and what I need to do for that work to transpire into my home and into our life. Being keepers of our families and homes also means realizing we are not in control. God is. But with His grace and with the virtues He invites us to possess and exemplify, even the hardest, saddest, or most overwhelming of days can be appeased and beautified.